Well, hello and a very warm welcome back to the TNC podcast. The season is done, but the TNC podcast certainly isn't. Welcome back, everyone. It's Jack Reeve. It's Chris Reeve. We've got a manager.
Yeah,
or head coach, I should say.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah, you can't call them managers anymore.
Not a manager.
Yeah.
He's a coach.
Yeah. We have to go the football hipster, you know. Head coach.
Head coach. Sporting directors.
Yeah. Head coaches.
Head of the veg patch.
Yeah.
Head of the soccer
That
ball.
was early. I didn't expect you to say veg patch.
Look, it's the summer.
This soon.
The sun's out. There's nothing to worry about.
Feeling good?
footballing-wise.
Feeling good about
Feeling
Norwich
fucking
City?
Brilliant.
Wow,
Yeah, feeling
really?
Yeah, feeling really good. We're in that period where there's no bad results to dissuade you otherwise.
True.
So you're only thinking good things.
Blissful la la land.
Yeah.
Let's all just lay back in Norwich City la la land and just enjoy the non-pain period.
This is the Saturday afternoon in your week, in your working week, where the stress of the week is done. You're still far enough away from Monday.
You're downing the Lakens.
And any issues are an issue for Monday morning. Monday morning can be the start of this season.
Yeah.
We can worry about that when it comes around. For this period of time, we've still got Sargent, we've still got Science, we've got Liam Manning at the wheel.
Yes.
We've got Chris Hogg and James Krause joining the team. Welcome along, boys. Come on in. Enjoy the ride.
Must say, though,
Ben Napper at the helm.
we are going to...
Athanasio's throwing money at it. God, what a time
You
to be
are
alive.
feeling good, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm feeling great.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen you feel this good before.
You made me a coffee. A bit early for the beers, but they're sat there if needed. The hats are ready. The hats are waiting. They're there. Someone on the live stream last night said, the hat's ready. I said, mate, you don't understand. They're always ready.
The hats are always ready, but and please remind us, we need to learn, and learn fast. Last season we put them on.
We went early.
I think it was when, I forgot when it was. We
was
beat
early.
someone, I was like, I'm sold, we're going up. But with Norwich City's track record, it looked like it was going to go well. But anyway, let's not go back there. Hello, Liam Manning.
Yeah,
Is
finally.
our new head coach.
I feel like Liam Manning has been our head coach for the last 4 seasons.
Yeah, because it's been spoken about so much.
So much chat. I did a 45-minute live stream announcing the news, and it was just repeating a lot of what I'd already said.
Are you happy that it's him? There were obviously other candidates involved,
I mean,
namely Christian Tits.
Christian Tits would have been good. Tickle and Tits would have been excellent if Tickle had started in goal. Tickle and Tits.
Do you know what, mate? I would have absolutely loved it. You're feeling good, aren't you?
Tickly Tits.
I would have absolutely. I would have loved for it to be Tits.
Christian Tits. I don't know anything about him other than his
No,
name.
but I don't care.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, guys. I was really hoping it was going to be Christian Tits. Everyone's like, oh, Russell Martin, this, Gary O'Neill, that. No, I was all in on Christian Tits.
I see the EDP went quite punchy on their front page. Did you see it?
No?
It was, I think it was like, head coach search goes tits up. I mean, the headline.
Did they really?
Yeah, the headline writer's dream. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Could you imagine could you have imagined the TalkNorwichCity podcast puns?
Yeah, hashtag tits out.
Yeah. Yes, when it starts to go wrong, hashtag tits. That would have been class. Tits out.
But it's been
big tits at the wheel.
It's been that's enough about that. Now. It's been we can get on to Sam Tickle later and have some fun about that, because I still can't believe there's a goalkeeper called Sam Tickle.
Do you think that's legit though?
What?
We will go on to that, but that's not.
Oh, we'll get on to that.
Okay,
we'll have some fun with that.
Okay. Right, what's coming up? What's coming up?
Oh God, yeah. What's coming up? Liam Manning.
Yeah.
He's our head coach.
Yep.
That's really good. How did Ben Napper get Liam Manning here?
Yeah.
Talk about some of the ins and outs of that. Transfer rumours heating up now. Josh Sargent might be off to Italy. Borja Science might be off to Spain. We've signed last season's best goalkeeper in the Championship, or about to, so that's going to be good. And then we've got loads of exciting questions to cover as well. So transfers, Manning, probably Soccerbot chat.
Yeah.
There's a lot in today's podcast.
You've done Soccerbot and Veg Patch all in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's like when you've not had, you've not been to the pub for a few weeks. And
you want to just get the
you
word.
want to get going.
I feel like
you get a bit overly excited.
Do you remember, Jack? One of our fantastic subscribers did a TNC watch long bingo. I feel like someone needs to do a TNC podcast bingo.
That would be good.
I'm challenging someone to do that.
That would be good.
Okay, so
Well, let's talk about the managerial
Yeah.
process, because you've been, as you always do, off on holiday and gallivanting and having some fun while I've been here slave driving over Pep Linders and Gary O'Neill, which has been great fun. Thank you very much. Anyway, Liam Manning is our new man.
Yeah.
Happy? Because people have heard a lot from me.
No, yes.
So happy.
Yeah, so happy. I think first of all, it makes sense.
Yeah.
And I would be surprised if Norwich fans would disagree with that. They might. They probably will. There's always someone. I think it makes sense. He's got experience in the league. When you look at his CV, what he's done, how he's been poached, where he's been poached from, to have moved to the City Football Group franchise really early on in his career is impressive. Of course, as everyone should do in their life, they have to do some charity work. He was a lead youth development phase coach or something like that at who down the road, but only temporarily, because West Ham, proper club, then came in for him, took him, and then obviously went on to City Football Group, and then obviously developed and everywhere he's gone, he's had a track record of, if it's not full success, relative success, and an absolute progression everywhere he's been. He galvanises football clubs. He brings people together. He gets them playing a really good style of football. And look, we certainly saw that against Bristol City this season, didn't we, Jack? Twice, home and away. What I loved about his Bristol City side is they played like a team. Like, they were a team. And I don't mean to cause any offence to Bristol City, genuinely. There's not a player I look in there and go, I'd rather him in our team. What a standout. There's no real stars or standouts, in my humble opinion.
Just galvanised.
But they just worked like a slick, well-oiled machine, and there was a system, and they knew exactly what they were doing, where they were going, when they would press, when they wouldn't, the shape, the positioning, the passing, the midfield mix, and how high they were up the pitch. And for those of you that don't listen to the scrimmage on BBC Radio Norfolk, you should. But we spoke about that on Monday night, actually, about where a Liam Manning side likes his teams to have possession, and that's higher up the pitch. Yeah. So for those Norwich fans that hate or don't like or don't agree with passing it round the back, hey, of course there'll be a little bit of that, but there won't be as much of it under Liam Manning. So I think it's exciting. We're certainly going to see some more exciting football. I think I can say that with my chest. I think we are going to see some more exciting football. And as I said to you in your live that you did last night, Jack, this means more to Liam Manning. And everyone's like, oh, well, what does that mean? And, I think, even Connor Southwell posted last night, everyone will talk about the geography. Yeah. Well, yeah, they are, Connor. And rightly so. It means more. If you're from the area, if you're born in Norwich, if you're born in Norfolk, obviously then he spent some time in Bungay, but it does mean more. There's the connection. Your family roots are here. I love the story, and I think that stories can help massively, and just bring everyone together. And like we say on this podcast, when we have a young Norwich City youth player come through the ranks, we want it even more for them. Can you agree with that, right? There's something about a young Norwich Academy player that's from the area where you're like, God, wouldn't it be brilliant? Like now, for example, we're all like Brad Hills. We'd love it to work for Brad Hills. We'd love him to break into the team. And that's how I feel about Liam Manning. My last ramble on Liam Manning as well. I shared on my ex Twitter last night an article that was done by The Guardian, and I would highly, highly recommend Norwich City fans read that, all about Liam Manning, and it's actually specifically more around his adversity, the way he's dealt with the loss of not only his son, which is just, I can't even believe that he lost his son. I think it was last year in October, and just incredibly sad. And the fact that he went on to get back into the Bristol City job and get them into the playoffs, I can't fathom it. And And he speaks in this Guardian article about when he lost his father at 11 years old. So this guy has dealt with loss. He speaks about grief. He wants to help people with that. And everyone knows that's something that's very close to our hearts. So I really want it for Liam Manning. This isn't just a normal... I don't look at this and go, that's a bit uninspiring. Really?
It's remarkable as well. I mean, you've reeled off his CV there and what he's been through. You assume that he's quite old. He's still in his 30s.
Yeah. He's
done so much in his career, and I think you're right in terms of every step he's taken. There's been a natural point of progression. He's done well in the UK with Dons and Oxford, and most recently Bristol City. He did really well out in Belgium with Lommel. He did really well with the City Group. He worked his way through, literally, I think he started at the under-8s all the way through Ipswich and then into West Ham. So his path has been like this. And I think the concern, well, some people will be thinking, every time it starts to go well, he jumps ship. Well, actually, let's worry about that if it happens. If Liam Manning is being linked with a Premier League move, then fine.
Yeah.
Because actually it means that what he's done at Norwich City has been good enough. So this is a man who's on an upward trajectory. I think you're right in terms of the geography. Everyone wants to come home at some point, and Norwich has a real pulling factor. I think you tie that in with the real difficulties faced personally over the last year. That pulls a little bit harder to get back around his family. I know his family is still very much in and around the area. So I think you're right. I want this to work. And when that shortlist first came out for who's going to be the next head coach, Russell Martin, Steve Cooper, I really, really wanted Russ, but actually I think Liam Manning makes more sense. I was looking at everyone else on that list, and I was like, there's some things about Pep Linders and Gary Neal get me going a little bit.
Yeah.
But in every one of those, there was that's a weakness, that doesn't quite feel right, blah, blah, blah. With Manning, there wasn't a clear failure in that list of the experience is there. He's a proper coach. He's adaptable. League, he loves developing young players. I was like, this is starting to make sense. Is it the most inspiring appointment ever? It inspires me, but we are now at a level where we are a mid-table championship team.
Yes, correct.
But it is still, I believe, a step up for Manning. He sees more of an opportunity to get promoted with Norwich City than he did Bristol City, and that's saying something because Bristol City finished 7 places above us last season. Yeah. So that's a compliment. And it's interesting that I think it was Paddy Davitt tweeted that there was a lot of interest from other clubs for Liam Manning, and
I don't know about this.
So Paddy tweeted it, so I wonder assume it's correct. But what I was going to lead on to say was, Napper's obviously done something right here. He sold a vision. Yeah. He's gone, I think you can do this. So what do you think Ben Napper was trying to sell?
I was going to say, speaking of that, what's Napper said to get Liam Manning? I mean, look, it's a big contract. It's a 4-year contract.
2029.
Talk about putting your chips on red. So Liam Manning will, hopefully be here for his full tenure.
We'll be in Europe
successful.
Summer of 2029, Azerbaijan in the Conference League. Let's go.
Well, the dream's alive thanks to Crystal Palace, etc. By the way, well done to Crystal Palace on that. I just fucking love that. Anyway, how did Ben Napper sell Norwich City to
13th place championship side?
Well, look, I think you can talk about the league position and, Bristol City fans go, it's a step down or it's a step sideways, but and people roll their eyes, but it is the facilities, the training ground. It is top end. If not the best in the Championship, it's probably in the bottom end of the Premier League as well in terms of facilities.
I guess you've got Leicester and Southampton now. They've probably got. But
of course.
Hear your point.
But most of them are just fucking sheds in someone's borrowed back garden, aren't they? Let's be honest. The crowds that we attract every week, the
sold the season tickets out again.
Yeah,
that's remarkable.
Yeah, but I'm not surprised. Yeah. It's who we are. Yeah. It's what we do. We like the pain. We keep going.
There's nothing else to do.
No, I won't go that far. Come on, Norfolk Broads and all that.
True.
Not so much Yarmouth. But no, look, I think in terms of selling the project as well, it's really interesting, Jack. I wonder whether he's been told investments coming. I don't know, and I'm not stirring the pot genuinely, but off the back of Johannes Hoff-Turp's comments slash Glenn Riddlesham's comments in a bit of press that they did around, it wasn't quite what they promised, essentially. I would be really intrigued as to what Liam Manning's been told around transfers, because especially bearing in mind we're going to lose Sargent, 99%. We're going to lose Borja Sainz, 99%. I'd say we're going to lose Núñez as well. I think that's probably 85 to 90% at least as well. We've already lost Angus Gunn, who obviously, has had seasons of tremendous success at this level. So I wonder what he's been told. What do you think he's been told?
Well, we've just signed the Championship's best goalkeeper. He's worked with him before at Lommel.
Well,
Dan Grimshaw.
Well, that's not been announced yet, but let's talk about Dan Grimshaw.
You can see how that transfer has happened. It makes perfect sense, Chris. Right? Carrow Road, take yourself back. Tuesday winter evening.
You're a naughty boy.
We see Mr. Grimshaw concede 6 and go, he's a man. He conceded more goals per game than George Long last season. 88 goals he conceded.
More than George Long?
More goals per game than George Long.
Yeah, but George Long didn't play, that's why. I mean, that's
no, I jest. Dan Grimshaw's not going to be our number one. No, I think you're right. I think that there has to be investment this summer. I don't think it's an if, but or maybe it's an absolute. I think there has to be investment this summer.
I just need to level out your Dan Grimshaw comments, okay?
No, I'm joking, Dan Grimshaw.
Because the thing that is really, really annoying is, and it's because of the fact that we've taken so long to announce Liam Manning, is Norwich players are moaning about players that we haven't even officially signed yet, right? So they're like picking bones in this and that. The thing that people should realise is the amazing thing about Dan Grimshaw is, and don't laugh, he's English.
Yeah.
So it's brilliant for our quota that we need to have homegrown quota, isn't it?
Okay.
So
let me open up my quota spreadsheet then, and I'll start to get really excited about that one. Thanks, Chris.
But as you said, we understand at this stage that he has been signed as a number 2. And actually, if Manning has worked under him before, and he was good under Liam Manning, from what I've read, then hey, let's give him a go.
Look,
it's not going to be any worse than what we've got.
Look, Dan Grimshaw, I think it's actually an achievement. He only conceded 88 goals with that Plymouth defence he had in front of him last season. Bad. So I jest on Dan Grimshaw. He comes in. It's not. It's a signing. You've got Jacob Wright already through the door.
Yeah.
Very young, proven in terms of the games he played for us last season. Highly rated by Manchester City. Picked him up on an absolute steal of a deal.
Yeah.
There would have been interest around Jacob Wright. Manning has obviously been told that he has got money to use this summer, because he's gone from just got into the playoffs Bristol City side.
Yeah.
Had a decent squad on paper. Probably would have spent money this summer. There would have had to have been something to attract him to this side.
Yeah.
And you're right. I mean, you're probably going to have Sargent, Sainz, Núñez, probably a couple more go. There's 40 million quid there, at least. So there is going to be money to reinvest, and it's needed because you've lost your entire core of your squad.
And don't forget, you've got further instalments of the signing from Gabi Sarra.
Yeah.
You've also got the Johnny Rowe, obligation to buy from Marseille. So there is money. Don't let anyone tell you there's no money. That's for sure. There is money. There's not a lot, but in terms of
it's enough.
But there's certainly enough to overhaul the squad. The thing is though, Jack, is there's so much work, and will it be done in time? I think not only we've spoken about this on this podcast before, I genuinely, hand on heart, believe we need to sign at minimum of 6, but up to maybe 8 or 9, possibly even 10 new players. I'm talking about a whole freaking new team here. But then that also means you've got to sell 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 players.
Well,
right?
I mean, I went through in a video the other day. I went through the website and the squad list. You've not got first choice goalkeeper. You've got one striker on the book basically. After Sargent leaves, you've got Ante Cianats. The squad is thin.
Hang on, this is Kennebo, no?
He wasn't actually on the first team squad list. He's probably on the under 23s. But yeah, there is a lot to be done this summer. It's already started, and I think that, what are we on? Start of June, you've got 5-6 weeks before you start to then think about pre-season, it does feel like
I like Ben Napper. I like him as a person. He's got a good firm handshake as well. I always respect someone with a good firm handshake, not a wet fish. And I think he's a really smart, switched on guy. I'm going to be so impressed if he manages to get everything done in time in one window. And it's annoying because realistically,
is this going to be a transition season?
It's going to take another 2 windows, isn't it? It's going to take the January window to sort this out.
Not again.
No, I know, and I don't think Liam Manning will see it as a transition season. We've had that. I'm saying this now, right, and hold us to account for this. Transition season.
Yeah.
Okay. Here lies transition season. 2024 to 25.
Yeah.
Yeah, or 23, 24?
24, 25 was last season.
Yeah, 24, 25. RIP. Dead. Done. Buried. No more talk of transition seasons, okay?
Yeah, I could have a deal on that. Yeah.
Brilliant.
It does feel like recruitment needs to shift from it's a project and he'll be good in 2 seasons to he is ready to play football now.
Let's just get on with it.
Yeah.
And also there's no excuse in terms of having a manager that's not got experience in the league. Liam Manning understands the ins and outs of the rough and tumble of the Championship. He understands what it takes, literally, based off of last season alone. What it takes for a team to get into the playoffs. So I'm excited by it. I'm pleased that we've shifted the dial a little bit more towards having some Championship experience. I think that's really good. And again, going back to the other candidates, Gary and obviously Russ Martin had that.
So he's off to Rangers, isn't he?
Yeah, that's gone down well.
Has it?
No. Gary O'Neill, sadly for us. Gary O'Neill, again, no Championship experience. Pep Linders,
still not forgiving him for Stoke away.
I'm excited.
I was just thinking now. Remember when we were Oxford away last season, first game of the season?
Oh, I remember.
You had Johnny Rowe refusing to play because he wanted a move. Adam Eder was on his way up to Celtic.
Yeah.
There was so much still to be done on the first day of last season. We can't let that happen again. We can't start this season and Science hasn't got his move or Sargent hasn't got his move. You need to just hit... It's not a good look to start the season.
No,
I get that things run well on and things are left late, and I don't like that the transfer window starts or is still going at the start of the season. We need to be done. We need to be prepped.
I agree. No, I agree. I think that's an idealistic viewpoint, and also, it's good for you, and it makes you feel more comfortable. But I actually think realistically, some things just have to wait.
Yeah, but the club should be doing things to make me feel good.
I hope and pray they get as much done as possible in time. I hope and pray that we won't have a situation again like last season. I mean, who knows? We don't know whether some of this current Norwich City squad are in bed with some bad apples in terms of agents. We saw that with Johnny Rowe, absolute stinker. So who knows? It might happen again.
Let's get on to some Twitter questions.
Yep.
As always, love to see your questions coming through. A big thank you, as always, to the TNC community. Let's start off with a real balanced statement from Harry Copeman. He says, Liam Manning will get us back into the Premier League within 2 seasons.
Ooh.
2 seasons. I like that from Copeman. Or Copey boy. He's going, all right, I'll be like, on the fence first season. But second season, come on, let's go.
Are you taking it?
Yeah. I mean,
your voice went high then. That means that wasn't the whole truth and nothing but the truth. You're selling yourself something, Jerry.
I think the league is tougher next season.
Oh, mate, it's so much tougher. I said this last season. Oh, my God, it's tougher this season.
You look at the teams coming up from League One, and you're like, well, Birmingham, really strong. Wrexham, strong. It does, and the frustration, I'm going to be a positive Percy for the entire of this podcast.
Come on, good.
But we have missed a real opportunity.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know. And Ben Napper knows that.
The league last year was awful.
Don't start me.
It was awful.
Although, might I say, congratulations to Sunderland, who won the playoffs. Jack Reeves said they were bang average. They ended up winning the playoffs. Mate, they're a great team. No, they're a great team. Mate, they're a great team.
All I'm saying to Sunderland fans, and I'm not being bitter here, enjoy your summer.
No, well,
Enjoy your summer because you're going to get absolutely battered next
no,
season.
look, I think that look, the reality check will come inevitably. My point is, anyway, that was just me poking holes at you. I agree. Last season, majority of the league, bang average. This season, there's some teams. And, you've spoken about, Wrexham and Birmingham, and I hope people don't underestimate those two in terms of spending power. I really hope you don't, because I'll say something now. I think they're going to both of those teams, sadly, will finish above Norwich next season.
Well, I've chatted to a few Birmingham fans in the last couple of weeks. They said they would be disappointed if they don't finish in the top 6 next season. They're that confident.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, there's hope. There's hope in Birmingham.
Wow.
Look, Manning's job is difficult.
Yes.
Is really difficult. Let's just, he's continually progressed at every club he's been at. This is probably, in terms of expectation and what the squad looks like, going to be one of his biggest challenges yet.
Right, so let's stop cocking around. You tell me now, where does Liam Manning need to guide Norwich City to next season? Because remember, transition season.
Yeah.
Here lies transition season, RIP, 24-25.
Yeah.
Done, dead, buried. Where is he finishing? Where does he need to finish with his Norwich City side next season?
Well, the expectation from the club will be top 6.
Of course.
I think realistically, 8th.
Oh.
But
Oh.
give me a few exciting transfers and I'll be saying 6th.
I know you will.
There
You're a naughty boy like that.
You look at last season. I was at Vicarage Road on the start of February, I think.
Don't start me on that.
We've just won 1-0. We were like a point off the playoffs, I think. We might have even been level on points with the playoffs. We were there for a lot of last season, and we were quite poor. Like we had little sprints of goodness. It doesn't take a lot to creep into 6th. I mean, Bristol City were okay last season. I think they were solid and they were well drilled, and they got there.
Yeah.
The squad was good, but it wasn't like outstanding.
Agreed.
And yes, they fell very short in the playoffs in the end, but like they got there. You just need to put a consistent enough run together. I mean, ultimately, our seasons have fallen apart during those cold, gloomy winter months under both Wagner and Johannes. So look, there's a chance.
Right. So
there is a chance.
So you've kind of,
I'm going into next season with
8th.
blind optimism.
You're saying 8th. That's your big point.
That's my conservative thing.
Okay.
There is a chance of playoffs next season.
Do you know what as well? I think I agree with you. I think of course the clubs we want to get it back into the playoffs.
It's going to be tough.
It's going to be much harder. So I would agree. I think we need to be knocking on the door of it, and a lot of people will be angry at us saying that. Jack.
Well,
but I think Norwich City fans, and I said this last time, need to take a reality pill.
Yeah.
Right, bigger teams with more money in the league. Not bigger teams. Other teams that are in the league now with so much more money, or at least owners that will spend more money, we think, at this stage. Atanasios, please prove us wrong. So it's going to be...
Well, I think let's try and quickly sculpt the top 6. Leicester, Southampton, Ipswich, you would assume will be strong again. I'm not saying they're all guaranteed top 6, but they will be strong.
Hopefully they do a Luton.
Birmingham are probably going to be strong.
Yeah.
You've got Sheffield United still in the division, Middlesbrough still in the division, Bristol City still in the division.
Yeah, but Sheffield United might...
But what I'm saying is they're going to be, you would have thought, in and around it.
Yeah.
So, well, that's more than 6 teams already.
Yeah.
Where do Norwich fit in that puzzle?
I agree.
You add into the mix, no Sarge, no Science. Well, that's 60% of your goals gone, if not more.
Yeah.
Probably no Nunez. Your first choice goalkeeper's
I agree.
gone.
No, I agree with everything.
So Manning has a job on his hands.
I know he does. Which goes back to your point earlier of he must have been told, we're going to give you X to support you sign these players.
Or was he taken to the veg patch and shown around?
Oh, yeah.
Did he have one of those at Bristol City? Was he growing radishes at Ashton Gate?
Checked out the parsnips and went, I'll have a bit of that.
Yeah. But it's all fine because Daniel Emery says at Rave, Forsen and Oscar Schwartau could explode next season as the 10 in a 4-2-3-1 for Liam Manning.
I love the usage of 4-2-3-1.
Do formations sometimes confuse you? When you're saying them quickly, I always forget if I've got to 11 or not.
Really?
Yeah, I was on the stream last night and I was like, I think I've just said a formation that includes 13 players.
Anyway,
maybe that's what we need. We need 13 players rather than 11 on the pitch.
So Daniel Emery's
Sorry.
question, right?
Yes.
So he is essentially saying those are his players that he would be excited about under Liam Manning.
Yes.
So what are the players that you think that will really thrive under Liam Manning?
Okay. Cordoba.
Oh,
Cordoba and Brad Hills.
I think Jose will have a good season next season. He was getting used to it last season. I think this season
I think it will help that, well, having heard from Liam Manning's previous chats and having watched a bit of Bristol City last season, I assume there'll be a slightly higher line. Excited again for Kellen Fisher. And hopefully, if he can stay fit, Lucy Mahavo.
Yes.
They're going to be quite high up the pitch.
Mahavo. Not bloody Mahavo.
Big
right,
Loose.
Keep going. Big Loose, I prefer that.
It's going to be a big season for Jacob Wright.
It's really interesting how you started with defenders.
I just think because...
I don't see Liam Manning as like a defensive expert, you know?
No, I don't. But, I mean, it surely can only get better from last season.
Well, obviously.
And I think there's players in...
It's not difficult.
I think there's a player in Cordoba, and
Yeah,
I hope that
course.
really flourishes. And I really want it to work for Brad Hills, and I think he'll be given an opportunity.
Oh, that's a bit of an outsider shout.
And the reason I'm not saying forward plays is because we've got none left.
Yeah, when we can't say a player's going to thrive when they're going to leave. I think the one that you've said there, and by the way, Daniel Emery said it. I think those two lads in midfield, Amankwa Forson, Oscar Schwartau, Jacob Wright. That's a Liam Manning side.
Yeah.
Is those quick, nippy, technical players in midfield, right? And
I love the word nippy.
And hey, by the way, that's exactly where Oscar Schwartau should play. So it'd be really interesting to see whether Liam Manning goes against kind of just slinging him out wide like Johannes did, albeit partly through injuries. Excited. Let's see.
Can I drop a little grenade in there and see how you react?
Yeah, go on then.
Do you think Mate Jurisic will come good next season? There's a little Jurisic grenade.
Cool, hello. Well, I am going to Prague next week.
What, to see him?
To go to the land of... Because, I'm fed up of all of the rumours and what's going on. I am going to Prague.
Are you?
On a stag do.
Oh, okay. You might see him there.
Mike Manson, shout out, my best mate.
I'm your best mate.
You can have multiple best mates. Best mate. Best mate. Yeah, I'm going to land of Mate Jurisic to see what the hell's going on.
Well, isn't he injured again?
Groin injury. He's had a groin surgery or something. Was it surgery? So there's this whole debate now of whether he'll be back for the start of the season, which is what we're being told.
Look, I love our local press, right? I do love them.
What are you about to say?
But we need to change the reporting of Mate Jurisic.
Right.
Don't tell me when he's injured.
Right.
I know. Tell me when he's fit.
Oh, okay.
Don't. I know that he's injured.
But what if that never comes?
Well, don't report on it. He could just drift off into the land of Prague, and we can go. Remember that guy? Pointless answer. Norwich City's top 10 signings of all time in terms of cost. Oh, who was number 9? No, God, Mate Jurisic. I can't remember him.
Do you know what? I will answer your question now.
Yeah, you're excited. And so am I.
Mate Jurisic, I'm telling you, those, whatever it was, 45, 60 minutes at Hull away. Mate, I think he could be a real player.
Okay.
Look, do I know what's going on with Mate definitively? No. Am I hopeful still? Yes. Maybe naively? Yes. Am I in La La Land with it? Yes. Am I okay with that? Not really, but I'm playing along with it. I really want
You
Mate.
love the intrigue.
I really want Mate. How good would it be next season if Mate Jurisic is absolutely piling them into the top bins, knee sliding into the snake pit, pointing at the name on the back of his shirt and shushing us. Do you know what I want more than anything next season? Mate Jurisic to go up to the Norwich fans and shush them. Say, how dare you write me off? I'd love that. I'd love the twang between us. It was like Robert Snodgrass back when he played for us and stuck his middle finger up at the snake pit after taking a throw in or a corner. I want that from Mate.
And as he knee slides towards the snake pit, the groin pops.
Anyway,
Jay says, question: how many players do you think we're short of a proper top 6 side?
Well, we've already said it.
I personally
Many.
think 7.
Yeah,
That's the whole team, Jay.
Yeah, do you know what? I agree with Jay. There's so much work to be done.
So
we
quickly,
shouldn't water it down. And everyone on social media is like, oh, it's okay. We'll keep him. We'll keep him. We're not keeping them. So people are talking about keeping Josh Sargent. I don't know what the bloody hell is in the Norfolk water. Maybe people have been taking advantage of our Lakens 20% off deal too much. Mate, honestly...
He's been dropped from the America side.
We are not keeping Sargent. Honestly, please don't tell yourself we're keeping Sargent.
What about if we do?
We're not. We're not. Do I want to? Of course I do. I just... Please don't set ridiculous expectations around keeping Sargent... if we keep him, if we keep Nunes, you're talking about it in one of your videos. I've seen on the bloody thumbnail. Nunes is off to the green side or whatever it was. We're going to keep Nunes.
But you clicked on it though, didn't you?
You're nonsense. No, I don't watch any of your videos.
Out of the current players that we think will be here next season,
Yes.
who actually starts? So Kellen Fisher starts.
Yes.
Cordoba, you assume, starts. Jacob
Yes.
Wright starts.
Yes, obviously.
Probably like a Schwartau might start.
Well, at the moment, Danny Grimshaw's starting.
Grimmy.
Medical happening as we speak. by
Yeah,
the way.
so actually, we probably do need 7 players.
I'm just trying to think of who else would definitely start.
If he's fit, Mate Jurasek. Jack Stacey.
I'm just trying to go through the team. Who else would start?
We've not got a goalkeeper.
Who's definitely starting?
We've definitely got a right back.
And you say Cordoba, but mate, if we have to, if we end up with Shane Duffy playing out the remainder of his contract at Norwich City Football Club, then he's definitely going to start, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah. Other than Fisher and Wright, I can't think of another one. Really.
Bit of a Manqua.
Mate, he played about 5 games last season.
I'm backing a Manqua so much. Mate, the Ghanaian
No,
god.
mate, you're doing this
Mate,
thing again.
the
You're
Ghanaian
doing
god.
this thing again when you're getting too excited
Mate,
about players that you've seen 4 games.
The Ghanaian god. Do you remember Coventry at
Yes,
home?
I remember it very well.
Right, well, think about that again.
Okay. No, it was great. It was great.
No.
it
Cast
was
your mind
great.
back.
No, it was great.
To the
But Chris, you're
feeling
doing that
the
thing.
Ghanaian god gave you.
You're doing that thing where we've just named 3... No, we've named 2 players that were probably starting.
Yeah, I mean,
I actually think... I laughed at you, Jay. Well, I'm not laughing now. I think we've got at least 9 players we need for the starting 11. No, seriously.
No. Yeah,
Seriously?
No, yeah. I know.
Seriously?
Yeah. I know. It's a concern at this stage. What I would say is we're going to make transfers. They're going to come in thick and fast, starting from this week.
Well, they need to.
Well, I know.
They need to.
Do you know what I would love? Right.
on, tell me.
Speaking of transfers, do you remember in League One where we signed like something stupid like 10 players or something?
Yeah.
And I'm sure there was a day where we signed like 5 players
let's
at
do it.
once.
Let's do it.
I'd love that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I always? Yeah.
Let's have a bank holiday Monday.
Oh yeah, the bank
Norwich
holiday
City Monday.
bonanza. Ben's bank holiday bonanza.
That's good.
Yeah, and it's Ben standing in the middle with his arms folded like that. Yeah,
Just
pushing out the old biceps. And he's got all of his signings are queued up behind him in that triangle formation. Championship, and across the top of the fucking graphic on the Championship, beware.
Yeah. I think we should have a Norwich City fete. You know, like a classic summer fete, and you've got all your stalls around. One, it's a good fundraiser. But there's
Fundraiser?
Yeah,
Don't need any more bloody money, mate.
fundraiser for Norwich City. You know when you do, I love hook a duck. I'm good at hook a duck. You could hook a Norwich City player and you sign them. Oh, we've just got Mehmeti. I've just signed Mehmeti. I've signed him. That'd be awesome, wouldn't it? Down at Colney. It'd be brilliant.
Mate, you've absolutely lost your head. Anyway, keep going. Please, before we lose all of our subscribers.
Sammy says, question.
Hello,
are we
Sammy.
going up or are we going up?
Oh,
There's a bit of positivity. Whisper it quietly. Sprinkle some of that.
there is some
Yeah?
positivity. There is
Bit of positivity.
Look, there is, and I love it. And long may
Can
that
take you a long way,
continue.
positivity, Chris.
And I think that the thing that I would just really say to Norwich City fans, and hey, I'm saying this to myself as well, like, progression comes faster with togetherness, okay? And it's so important that we remember that next season. It's again, you know, there will be tough patches next season, especially if Napa can't do the amount of business that's required for a genuine, playoff contending campaign. So let's try and stay together. Let's get positive. Let's get positive.
Yeah, and let's stay on that point. Chaz Tat says 100 points, 100 goals, HMS Pistol League, Yarmouth International City of Culture, Seanat's Golden Boot, Laken's in the Lion and Castle.
Yarmouth is a shocker, but outside of that, yes, agreed with all.
I think let's end that there for this week.
There you go then. Well, that's that. See you later.
It's going to be a busy summer.
No, it is. Stay tuned on to TNC
How many more
podcast.
holidays have you got lined up? About 6?
Just the stag do. I have already said this, but I'll just reiterate some exciting things happening on Talk Norwich City over the summer.
Is there?
Yeah.
Any more on that?
One of them is taking a little bit longer, but it'll be worth the wait.
Okay. That sounds like the Manning announcement. Look, there's going to be loads of content on TNC over the summer. We're going to try and get a few more pods out. Laken's continuing to brew the best beer in Norfolk / East Anglia / the UK.
Drink responsibly.
/ the world. The discount code is in the description below. Chris, strap yourself in.
Liam Manning's Yellow Army.
Liam Manning's at the wheel. Tell me, how good does it feel? See you later, everyone. Bye-bye.